Hello everyone, Paul from High Tech Legion, and today we're going to take a look at High Tech Legion's first mobile device. This is our first review on a mobile device, and it's going to be the Google Nexus 7, which is built by Asus. Now, Google does have two other tablets, or a phone and another tablet in this line. They have the Nexus 4, which is built by LG, and they also have the Nexus 10, which is built by Samsung. The Nexus 7 happens to be built by Asus, but it's the only tablet in the Nexus line, or the only product in the Nexus line, that has a quad-core NVIDIA Tegra 3 processor in it. It also has a 12-core GPU. So if you know anything about NVIDIA, you know that they know video. So you could just figure that the video quality on this is going to be very good. Now, you might not know that NVIDIA does ARM processors. They have their own Tegra 3 processors. We'll get into that when you actually read the review. We'll talk a little bit about that. It'll be pretty long to actually get into the actual Tegra stuff with you on film, because I don't want you to get bored by sitting here for about 45 minutes while I explain it to you. But basically, what the Tegra processor is, it's an ARM processor. It's a 4+1 processor. Basically 4 cores. It has a 5th core in it, which is a battery-saving core. Now, what this will do is, when there's a low demand on the actual tablet itself, what it's going to do is it's going to cut down everything to 1 core. It'll go to the battery-saving core to save you some life for your tablet itself. Gives it some extra boost. So let's kind of go down the specifications on this. It's got the Android 4.2 Jellybean operating system on it. It's 7-inch, it's an HD screen, it's 1280 by 800, and it's built to really use well with Google Play, because this is a Play tablet. You know, besides being an e-reader, which you could use for, but this is a Play tablet. Now, with Google Play, you also get Tegra Zone from NVIDIA. Since you have an NVIDIA processor in here, you're going to get Tegra Zone. So you can download some great games, get some great visual qualities out of it, like physics and shadows and all this stuff that you won't see on other non-Tegra related tablets. So let's go ahead and unbox it. Of course, you can see it's in a gray box. It's not very, and on the bottom of on the back of the box, it just has a few little details for it. And when we go ahead and open this, inside of that is a dark black box. Now I'm going to put this down and try to open it. It's a little hard to get it open here, but we'll do it as quickly as possible here. Eventually it'll come out. I know this looks bad, doesn't it? But in any case, once we open it, now normally this will come packaged inside. So once this is packaged inside, it's got a clear plastic coating. I took it out of the clear plastic coating. So when we take it out of the box and we take a look at it, you can see it is fairly thin. This is the black version. It's black on the back. It says Nexus on the back, of course. You have a power button here and a volume button for your media. On the bottom is your micro USB, and basically there you have it. But now if we turn it on, you'll see we come to a little start screen here, and by doing that we get to our main screen. Now I'm going to go ahead and stop the video for a second so I can set this up, and it'll dim the lights so we can take an actual look at how this works. Alright, so let's just go quickly over some specifications here. It's the NVIDIA Tegra 3 mobile processor. It's a 4+1 quad-core processor with 12 GPU cores. It's got Android 4.2 Jellybean on it. It's a 7-inch HD screen, which is 1280 by 800. It has a 1.2 megapixel front-facing camera, 1 gigabyte of memory, 8 gigs of internal storage, total 16 gigs. 1080p MPEG-4. It is also Wi-Fi, which is compatible with B, G, and N, and it has Bluetooth 3.0 technology. There is a 3.5 millimeter audio jack on the bottom. Its total dimensions are 10.45 by 120 by 198.5 millimeters, and it weighs about 340 grams. The battery inside of it is 4325 milliamps per hour, and it's a 3.7 volt battery. But now, as you can see, it has a pretty nice screen, and believe it or not, this screen is only on at the 50% range. One thing that I found out with the Nexus 7, with the NVIDIA Prism screen, etc., it's very bright. And usually about 50% on this is about 100% on some of the other tablets that I have actually used. I mean, including a Kindle Fire. So, it's a very brilliant screen. It's got a nice layout. When you first come up, it's going to bring you to this welcome screen, which is basically Google Play. As we said, it's going to be based on Google Play. So let's go ahead and take a look at something that I downloaded, and this is basically a Sherlock Holmes book. I'm kind of into Sherlock Holmes, and this is also showing you how quickly the applications do load with the processor. But it's fairly nice. I mean, just flip your pages. It's got a nice bright screen. As I said, it's only on 50%, so you can brighten it if you want to. I seem to like it at this rate myself. So that's fairly quick. So let's go home. We'll hit the home button again. And what we could also do is with this, and we could watch a movie, and I could show you how nice these movies look. This right here is actually Transformers: Dark Side of the Moon. And as you can see, it's loading up and playing. Now, it does have a very, very nice picture. Volume right now is at about 65 to 70%. And as you can see, it's very clear. So, but that's not the only thing that this could do. You also have Google Now, since this is Google. Is it raining today?
No, rain is not expected today in Hudson. The forecast is 79 degrees and mostly sunny.
The next new concept with Android, with the Jellybean, is of course it integrates the Google Now. Now, of course, there's certain questions that this is going to answer, and of course I've tested it prior to actually asking it the question. It's not a Siri as you would consider with like maybe an Apple iPhone or something like that, but it does help out, and basically you could just talk to it and it'll do the searching for you and bring up links, etc., on stuff that it's not going to answer. So that's another good quality about this. Now, we also have our music center. And if you do have music, you could go ahead and listen to your music on this. We'll go back to the home screen and we'll go ahead and flip that over. Now, this is some stuff from Google Play, some games that if you want to play. We'll go ahead and go back to the opposite side. As you can see, I don't have all the screens filled out yet. Right here we could pick what browser we want. And there's also other stuff that we could do, as you can see. So let's go ahead and we'll bring up with Google Chrome here. Let's see what site that is. And as you can see, that was fairly quick. It loaded the High-Tech Legion site pretty quickly. Of course, this is on Wi-Fi right now, so it comes up very quick. It's very nice. It looks good. Very easily flows up and down and back and forth. Now, that's for surfing the internet. Now, the other thing is this is great for gaming. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and hit the home screen here and go to the settings, and let's go ahead and bring us to the Tegra zone. This is the NVIDIA Tegra zone. Now, as I said, this has an NVIDIA processor in it. So basically that means that you get all the benefits of Tegra. Now this isn't a replacement for Google Play. There's other games that Tegra doesn't, that aren't Tegra certified that you could download. But if you want some games that are specifically made for this, because NVIDIA does help the developers develop this so it works well with their GPU and CPU input, you can go to the Tegra Zone. There's a lot of free games here. There's a lot of pay per games. There's a whole bunch of stuff you could do on Tegra Zone, and I find it very, very simple. I just download what I want. I go ahead and play, and let's go ahead. I do have a game loaded on here from the Tegra Zone, so let me go back and let me go into my settings, and let's see which one we want to take a look at. Let's look at pinball. So I'm going to flip over the screen here. Now this is N Pinball, and I mean I enjoy pinball a lot, so we'll hit single player, and we'll go ahead and let it load. Now, as you can see, I mean that's a fairly nice looking screen, a fairly nice looking game. It's got a lot of detail in it, and of course you could use this with your touch screen. Put your finger on each side, and you could hit your flippers and all the other stuff. Okay. By tapping each side, you can make your flippers go, etc. But in any case, this is a very, very versatile little tablet. Believe it or not, I have other tablets, and I seem to be carrying this one around a lot more than the other ones when I'm out and about or around the house and I just want to look at something, because it has such a brilliant screen. Asus built it very well. They chose to use the NVIDIA Tegra 3 processor for it, and I think that it's a great combination. Okay, now that we've gone over that, and you watch a little bit of Global, which basically highlights, it's technically a demo, and it highlights what a Tegra processor can do when you're gaming. Let's talk about the Tegra 3 processor. Tegra 3 processor, of course, is a 4+1. It's the first quad core on the market. The +1 would be a battery saver core, so basically when you're doing non-intensive things, it'll go into battery saver mode. It will take care of your battery life for you, so you get extended battery life. Now, how does that work? It works via variable symmetric multi-processing, VSMP. In the review, you can read a little bit about that. I don't want to get too far in there. So with the VSMP, it delivers better battery life for you. Now, when does that kick in? Basically, if you're you're checking your mail, you might be surfing the internet that doesn't have any flash stuff going on. That's when it's going to happen. But when this runs on all 4 cores, when you're doing multitasking and stuff, you'll get about 1.2 gigahertz of power out of it. When it's using the one core for battery saving, you get about 1.3 gigahertz of power out of it. So you're going to get a very good gaming experience because it also has 12 GPU cores in it. Now, a few other things that I'd like to talk about is battery life. Now, I found that there's two different ways that I can test battery life with this. If I put a local file on here and I loop it, I can get about 10 hours of battery life. This is playing HD video at a 50% screen resolution. If I'm using Wi-Fi and per se I'm watching Transformers that came with this game, with the Google Nexus 7, if I'm watching Transformers via Wi-Fi, I could get about 4.5 to 5 hours of battery life out of it watching it via Wi-Fi. So basically what you're looking at is something that's going to be very quick, very snappy. As you saw, I mean, things loaded fairly quick, probably sometimes even quicker than they do on your home computer. That's how quick this little tablet is. It's very good as an e-reader. And one thing I'd like to say is that NVIDIA, Asus, and Google put a lot of thought into this because it is very lightweight, it's very convenient, it's going to compete with the Kindle Fire HD. And my personal opinion is it has a nicer, more brilliant screen than the Kindle Fire HD. If you want to see some benchmarks on it, just to see how it basically performed, etc., please read the full review. Now, also, how about liking this? Click on the little like box on this video. That would be great. Make sure you subscribe to High Tech Legion's YouTube channel so you could be updated with all our latest videos, etc. And make sure you do visit us at www.hightechlegion.com. Bye-bye for now. Stay thirsty, my friends. See you next time. Take it easy.